As the 21st century is unfolding, career opportunities in tech are emerging in large numbers, as well as job options and career choices in industries such as biotechnology, for example in the study of genomes and its application in the emerging field of genomics. The degree of challenge and responsibility as well as the space for ambition is proliferating, which has become an enticement for skilled workers trained in the industries above. Nevertheless, regarding the expansion of tech industries, most of the leaders as well as key position holders are male. Elon Musk, Larry Page, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, etc. One could hardly name a key figure of the tech industry being a female. As a person who enjoys STEM-related industry math subjects, specifically areas that involves a lot of calculations and critical thinking, brain puzzles really excite me just as anyone who enjoys learning about science subjects. Regardless, the gender distribution as in the STEM industry is technically disturbing, and one cannot deny that this is an evident failure of society. For example, only 22% of workers in the AI industry are female, and less than 30% of the world researchers are women. From my own personal anecdote, my career choice as a scientist is not well supported by my family or the people around me. There are reasons female rather should not work in tech. Those jobs require too much brain power, and as being said, men are greater at what females at doing brain-related activities, by which this is a common perception across multiple societies, that maths and sciences simply don't suit women. I was in fact told to be better off doing marketing or public relations, which I have nothing against, as well as the people who stated those statements, and in fact do not find the fields unworthy of my attention, not in the slightest way. However, they don't excite me as much as science does, nor do they ignite a sense of passion, and living in a world that discourages anyone from pursuing their passion is simply disappointing. I suppose they haven't persisted with the reading long enough to render them interesting, but their minds will be swayed by the outcome of the research, the economic and societal benefit they bring. To me, I find the most interesting part of science is getting something clear. The amount of knowledge I have gained after reading a science article or taking a science course is impeccable. Science seems to be much nearer to your interactions with everyone and your surroundings and makes a lot of occurrences become comprehensible, such as you understand how you're breathing, why your heart is beating, why you're alive, and even as ridiculous as it sounds, why some species interbreed and others don't. As a result, you see the world you're living in a different ways, and a lot of pieces of information you read. For example, when you read that Neptune and Saturn did not engage in a specific orbit early on in the formation of the solar system, resulting in the rearrangement of asteroids and dwarf planets to unexpected positions that linger to present day, you suddenly understand that and are able to take advantage of that information. Regardless, science is being immensely undervalued, not often encouraged in the society that I am living in. And even more shameful, people are not maximizing the industry's potential by discouraging talents of certain backgrounds. I am fortunate enough to be born to a middle-class family with nothing close to extreme values being upheld, but it is known that a lot of other girls are not as lucky as I am, regardless of certain sexist remarks that are commonly heard in my community, which do not affect my disposition, but impose real negative effects to other people from other communities, as they're ingrained into their core values and basic functionings. In certain countries, high school or even secondary school, education is rather a luxury. According to the UNESCO Institute for Statistics, by 2018 worldwide, 35% of female youth are out of school for the upper secondary category, meaning they don't go to high school. In some countries, this number goes up to approximately 70%, meaning 7 out of 10 girls are out of school. The level of challenge to overcome gender barriers as well as cultural to pursue their passion for girls of these circumstances is significantly overwhelming, as these girls often come from low-income households and have to sacrifice their own potential, their own future in exchange for a comfortable life for their family. Hence, it is unlikely that they will escape the wheel of fortune that entrapped their predecessors, the women from the previous generations, and drowning them in hardships. From actual events in Vietnam during the subsidy period, families were often poor and needy. Young girls did most of the tasks and work such as cooking and cleaning, taking care of their siblings, and boys their age weren't told to do as many things besides from field work or the job they have. Young boys from the countryside were also given greater opportunities to get access to education due to the lesser amount of domestic work they required to do compared to their counterparts. And these people, as a result, hold greater chances of rotating their future and build a successful career from scratch, rather than squandering their whole lives on the field, dedicating their time to their husband and children in impoverished conditions like the females. The conditions in which one could easily shed tears upon the thought of their mothers or sisters entrapped in that circumstance. With the amount of knowledge and capability biased towards one sex, the STEM industry in general, as well as the world, will not be able to develop to its maximum level. As long as gender inequality exists, as long as certain opinions are not heard, abilities are not discovered, and circumstances are disregarded. While these things still persist, the workforce will become more homogeneous than ever, producing the same results with the same opinions and solutions, which is inefficient and rather expensive and uneconomical for any industry, including STEM. Hence, we need to assist girls of these challenges of race, different financial backgrounds, and different upbringing, for they are all deserving of the opportunity of education, of pursuing their passion, and are free to express their intelligence as well as femininity. After all, those two factors are not negatively correlated as culture suppose. Most of all, as a collective, society needs to stop looking for reasons to discourage girls from reaching their maximum potential or fulfilling their ambitions simply because of their gender, but to put forth the idealization of capability and contribution, not suppositions, prejudices, and stereotypes. And as the people who are responsible for these generations' well-being and advancement, we need to work hard to ensure that the future generations, all the generations after this, will not bear the prejudices that our generations have, to maximize innovations, creativity, and contributions to the world in general, and the future of young females, that no one shall be disadvantaged due to their disposition or merely their sex. There have been proposals of increased promotional contents for girls to participate in STEM industries, as well as excessive education, and I suggest this to be an urgent issue that needs immediate addressing. The power of advertisement should not be underestimated, especially in the 21st century, when the globe is more interconnected than ever. Besides encouragement, there should be actual resources and methods to make them accessible to the public, such as workshops, offline classes and qualifications offering, online resources, and above all, we have to make sure that girls of all circumstances are able to access these. One solution to mass information delivery is through free broadband centers across the globe, particularly in rural areas. Because these areas need particular attention due to the general low income and limited resources, often rendering the next generation born in that area disadvantaged in terms of other children in other areas, access to knowledge and information is critical, as it can often become a source of inspiration and cultivate the next big disruptor to STEM and other industries, and create a broader options range for girls of disadvantaged upbringing, rather than following the footsteps of most of the women in their surroundings, leading to inevitable hardships, persistent poverty, and create another generation that has to suffer, in which more girls are not given their best chances to develop and succeed, and persist the sad reality the world is currently in. Opportunities, therefore, must be of reach to those who are capable and who desire them, and as a result would create the most value added given the opportunities these people have. All in all, we need to encourage a culture of education, risk-taking, and empowerment for females, and make sure that not one girl is left behind, as all are part of this movement towards gender equality, as all are deserving and all are capable of anything they put their heart and soul into, and all are capable of becoming the next Elon Musk, Larry Page, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, etc., if they put their heart and soul into. Thank you.